Welcome back and thanks for joining me. It's Judy from Thistledew Creations, and today what we want to do is another journaling card. I told you that if I was going to do something nice I would bring you back, and I just thought this was a really good combination with this Kingfisher, and I'm going to do it a little differently, so I thought I would just show you the variation. I'm going to cut around this arch-topped little frame instead of using the whole page. So they'll be a different size than the other ones I did. I just finished the video, so they're right under my mat here, but this is the other ones that I did where I used the whole page. Didn't cut around the arc. So we'll see how different this one is. I love the teal in this. And actually I was thinking it might be cool to have a teal background behind it. But I found this orange paper that I think might also work, so I'm going to use the ripple scissors to fussy cut around the shape. Trying to keep my border fairly consistent in width. And then I also did a little jog around the word Kingfisher. So there's no question about what kind of bird is that. And then this other page, I'm going to tear this excess away and save the end page. There's an end page there that is just from an address book. So I'll save that and put it, I probably should start a file, an initial file, ABC file folder, and put things with initials on it for Happy Mail. I've got so many of those expanding folders that aren't being used yet. That might be a good use for one. So you could watch for an upcoming Organizing with Judy for that. I'm going to just ink over the word Kingfisher a little bit. Make sure this border looks right. Okay, and then what I was thinking was gluing it down on the orange, but I'm really thinking I need some teal in here. I'm going to do a quick look in my little drawer here. Oh, I know what I could use. I've got file folders that are teal. I can find one. Teal and purple, my favorite colors, and there's just never seems to be enough of it. There's one of the hanging file folders that has broken on me, like the metal got bent and it wouldn't stay hanging anymore, so I can use this to back it, and I think it's gonna really pop against that. So what I usually do is glue it down and then cut around it. Just wondering if I think that will look better, but I think it looks better on the teal than it does on the orange. Kind of disappears on the orange. So we've got that well inked. So now I'm going to glue it down. I'm going to glue it in this section here. There's a crease here that I don't want involved. And this page over here is pretty creased up too. So I'm going to glue all over the back of this. I'm just not going all the way to the edge with this glue stick. Putting a fair bit on. And this just makes sure that it is stuck down everywhere. And then I use the Aliens tacky glue to go around the edges. I think it's time. I've been saying this all day. My glue's about to run out. It's been upside down and it's not, there's nothing there. So it's pretty much done. So I'll just take my 3-ounce aleenes that I get from the Dollar Tree and switch those caps out. Throw that away. And put my upside down glue bottle cap on the aleenes from the Dollar Tree. So if you didn't know, yes, it works with this cap. So when I bought this, it probably came with a 4-ounce bottle, but the size of the screw on is the same. So discovered that quickly, and it's been a great savings for me because I can't be without my upside down glue bottle. It's just so handy. This has been sitting the other way for a while. There we go. This is so much nicer instead of glue that feels like it's about to run out. So quite close to the edge, leaving a little space so that when the glue squeezes, it doesn't squeeze out. It just kind of squeezes to the edge, and then I'll do some squiggles in the middle. And then I'll glue that down. I'm loving it so far. And then I think what I'm going to do, I think it would look good with the orange repeated. So I'm going to cut a fairly wide border because I want to see some teal. I could use this side as my guide for how wide I cut, because I've only got so much to the first crease there. So I'm going to just eyeball it here. This is like matting a picture that you're going to frame, only just done with layers of paper. And I want that to be a smooth transition into that arc. And keep my border the same width. A smooth transition into the straight stretch. And then the only question is down at the bottom, do I jog it again, or do I just, I think I'm just going to do this straight across. So that I will ink with ground espresso because it'll show up better. Gets rid of all those little white bits. And it just richens that up even more than it already is. I'm leaving those bottom corners fairly square. This dauber is just about ready for a new pad. I like that so far. And then I think if I put it on the orange now, it really looks fabulous. These ones, yeah, I did have them as rippled edge, so I could do that again. What I might do on this though, I've got to cover the back completely because it's got that info pocket. I guess I can take that off. What I was thinking I might do, just put a pocket on the back or something. And this is inked and glued, so it's not perfectly flat. I'm not sure that that's a good thing for my finished project. Let's go ahead and do it how I was planning, is glue this down. all these layers, it's bound to be a little lumpy and bumpy somewhere. Glue this down on the orange paper. Repeating that orange is a good idea. It's got some dark orange, some black, a little bit of glitter. I might want to bring a little bit of glitter onto the main page too, like maybe these little spots among the leaves could be glittered, or a little bit around in the water. I often do that with either my glitter glue or glitter nail polish, or if you do wet embossing, you could emboss something on the card too. So far I haven't done that. I have the stuff to do it, I just haven't done it. I'm not sure why. And this is just going to be a thin border. It is cardstock, but it's not very thick. And I want it to be a minor character compared to the teal. This was some Halloween paper that I didn't really like that much, so this is a good way to use it. We're not really seeing it. Just seeing sort of some colors and the suggestion of a pattern. This is getting kind of squishy with all that glue. Just square this off. Now on the back, that's plenty of layers. The back side, I was thinking the craft colored cardstock. I've got a whole notebook full of it here, where I've torn the pages out already, so it's ready to use. It's going to be just wide enough to do it. So I think I will do it. The only tricky part is getting it cut right. I suppose if I cut it this size, that'll give me the right shape and the right size, because it'll be stepped in again, right? So I'll ink with my vintage photo around the edge of the white background. And there's no big gobs of glue right on the edge, so we should be good. Just a bit right there. I might take the ink a little differently. The ink also disguises it a bit. So another way to use up papers you're not real crazy about is to use them as little borders like this, so you don't really see much of it. But if it's the right color, just a pattern you don't particularly care for, maybe even a color you don't really care for, but it's in the picture that you're trying to frame, then it's a no-brainer, it's going to work. I could have even used a darker orange, like a more solid looking orange on the back. So for this, what I can do here is trace this. I'm going to go over as far as I can and just draw myself a little line here. I'll worry about across the bottom once I get the arc cut out. So I'm just going to follow my pencil. see if it matters which way. Yeah, it does a little bit. And then I'm going to cut just a width off the bottom. That gets inked in the ground espresso, so it shows up. And I think I needed to ink a little more up at the top here. I'm seeing some whiter spots. I'm inking the right side of the paper. Lovely. And then I was going to put a little accent on the back like I did on those other cards. And I was thinking about a pocket. So you can tuck a note in it. If you're using it as a bookmark, you can write down things you want to remember or go back and read, or notes that you're taking. Or just sometimes, you know, you're reading along, you're reading your book. Oh, darn, I got to remember to go to the post office tomorrow. You can make yourself a little to-do list. Of course, the to-do list is probably going to be in your book beside the bed when you're at the out and about and you still forget to go to the post office, but you can use it for whatever. Okay, so that gets glued down. So because I have the border at the bottom, I'm going to put my little pocket up. I'm not going to take it right down to the very bottom. And I think I'd like my pocket to be a combination of those two papers again. So I think I'll do, let's see, I've already got so I'll layer it in like this. And that is too tall. I'll do it about here. And when it's short like that, I don't really feel the need to have a notch in it, but you could do just a really gentle curve. Like that. espresso for sure. Now, do I want decision time? Do I want the burgundy or the teal behind that? I think so, because it's the sturdier paper. So I'm just going to rough cut it first. Actually, I made this, well, I did make it a little narrow, so. Deciding whether to glue it right down or to make it another little pocket. I'm thinking I'll make it another little pocket. So glue it down, but just the bottom and the two sides. So hold on to the side you don't want to glue. And do yourself a very thin bead very close to the edge. I don't think I want to use that already rippled edge because it's got that seam, so I'm going to put it up here. And then I will do this fairly wide. No, it can't be too wide. I think it can be about this wide. And those edges aren't very straight either. I'm going to make this pocket taller. The tricky part is going to be getting that arc the same. And maybe we'll just do it straight and then cut a notch in it rather than try to get it the same, because I don't think I would be very successful at that. I will take the time to mark the center because I don't want to fold this in half and crease it. So it's about 4 3/4, so that would be 2 3/8. And I'll just measure it from both sides to see that I've got it marked in the right spot. Yeah, just over just a touch. Then I have something to visually line up. I don't really have a mark made in my punch, which I probably should. And then that gets inked in the ground espresso. And then that pocket combo can be glued down. And that's a nice way to finish off the back of that one. If I was sending this in Happy Mail, I might throw some scraps in. I might put a little notepad of this type of paper in, or something like that. If it's going in a journal. Now that does not look centered for some reason now. It's good enough. This will do. Very pretty with that teal. So I'm always looking for file folders and hanging files in that army green color are also good for a lot of our vintage projects. But when I find the teal ones, I grab them because that's my favorite color, and that's a great example of the dark, rich teal that I love. And it really goes well with this Kingfisher. So thanks for watching today while we do that, and I hope that you will come back and catch the next project. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, but most of all, have a great day and happy crafting.